Welcome to Maono Prayer Center, where petitions to the courtrooms of heaven are filed.
Hello, ladies. Do you know what a marital is? If yes, do you know that it can break your family? If no, then this is your message. Sit back and listen. My name is Robinson Mukua from Maono Prayer Center. Now, welcome to the ongoing subject on understanding the male ego, part 4. Now, what is a male ego? What do we mean by male ego? I will explain this over and over again, but for the purposes of those people who have not been able to listen, I can repeat again. A male ego, also called a silent killer, is the inner person of a man like you that you don't see. The invisible commander in chief who gives specific instructions or commands to the outer man on how to act or react, mostly to women. The 2 points of disclaimer, though, I have to give before I continue. 2 points of disclaimer. Ladies, listen, ladies, this is for ladies. Husbands are not entirely responsible for what they don't do to you and what they do to you. They're not. That's disclaimer number 1. Disclaimer number 2. Husbands are not fully responsible for what they say to you and what they don't say to you in your marriage relationship. So please keep that anchored. And this is the reason why. It is because they are receiving instructions from the so-called invisible commander in chief, who is commonly known as the male ego, alias silent killer in them, commanding them what to do, how to act, and how not to act, how to react, and how not to react. Therefore, please, I beseech you, ladies or wives, please understand them, understand these men, and forgive them, for that's how they were created. That's how they were wired. For more details on this, please refer to Male Ego Part 1 for more details and find out how they were wired. The origin of this male ego. This male ego, well, where did it come from? Refer to Part 1. Now, let me tell you the male ego principle. The male ego has got a principle which states that if you can't say something nice about your husband, that if you don't say anything good about your husband, then please don't say anything at all. That's the principle of the male ego. That if you can't say something good, something nice to your husband, then don't please say nothing at all. Today, we are going to see that which the male ego does not want to entertain from wives, from women. This selfish, proud, silent killer, what it does not entertain from a wife like you. Now, number 1 on the list is, please do not order your husband around like a small kid. You will be affecting the male ego. you will be bruising the male ego. Don't you ever order your husband around like a small kid. Please, please speak to your language in a respectable tone of voice, and always avoid talking to him as if he's your firstborn child. Don't scold him, even if he does something wrong or foolish, but instead use that loving tone of voice. Yeah, go around it. Don't give commands, orders. Don't ridicule him. Otherwise, the male ego will not be at peace with you. Then your marriage will maybe end on the rocks, or go down south, or something else can happen. We are going to see that later in the subject. Number 2, what does the male ego hate from you, women? Don't insult or despise your husband's job. Don't despise or insult your husband's job. Let me tell you, ladies, no man likes to be mocked for the job he does, even if he is the module attendant. And you, as a wife, you are a teacher. No man likes to be mocked for the job he does. Never, never, don't dare do that. Even if your husband hates his job, please do not demean or downsize it at all. The male ego will be discouraged and lose confidence and enthusiasm in pursuing his goals. So do not, please. If you know, even if he's not happy about it, don't talk about it negatively. Number 3, the male ego says you don't criticize your husband's family members. That's great, that's huge. As well as his close friends. Do not criticize them. The male ego inside that man does not take that lightly. Wives, I beseech you, please respect and speak kind words to your husband's family and friends. Although some of these family members are a pain in the neck, of course, but still they have got something in common with your husband that you do not have. So be careful what words you use, what comments you give to the sister of your husband, to the brother of your husband, to your mother-in-law, to that person friend of his. You're very be sensitive and choose your words properly. Restrain yourself, otherwise the male ego in that man will feel attacked and mocked. That's how huge it is. Number 4, what does male ego dictate? It says, you as the wife, you don't simply dismiss your husband's opinion when you can't agree with him. You don't simply dismiss your husband's opinion when you don't agree with him. Just don't dismiss it like that. The male ego inside him will not take that lightly. Now, in case you have a difference or a different opinion, so to say, then the first point of entry before you dismiss your husband's opinion is to show appreciation first. You appreciate that which he's pursuing or he was pursuing, that it was worth the cost, but things have gone south, for bad luck, unfortunately. But don't dismiss it and talk negatively about that opinion of his or whatever he wanted to do. So then what you do, you avoid using one word. Whenever you differ or you exchange words with your husband, There is this word, a three-letter word I'm telling you not to use, and this is you. Don't say you. Yeah, don't use the word you to express how you feel. You understand? Don't use the word you to express how you feel. Because the you is a blaming and finger pointing statement of attack. According to the male ego. The you said this, you did, you. That is, according to the male ego, is a blaming, finger pointing statement of attack. You are attacking him, you. Now, statements like pointing fingers such as, you have done a big mistake, you have done a big mistake. Such a statement will make the male ego feel as though you are attacking. Then how do you do it now? How do you do it? This is how you do it. Now, instead, please use the word I. You start your statements using the word I. Whenever you are agreeing with him or disagreeing with him. For example, you can say, darling, I do not know why I've got a different opinion on this matter. Or I feel unheard in this home because you do not listen to me whenever I disagree with you. You're not attacking. You say, I feel unheard or unrecognized in this home, in this house, whenever there is a disagreement between me and you. You know, if you say you feel, I feel, then this statement will call for a dialogue. If you say, I don't feel recognized in this home because whenever there is a disagreement between me and you, you don't, then that what means is that you are seeking for dialogue. The man will calm down. But if you say you always do this, then that's confrontation and attack on the male ego. He doesn't want that. So the rule of the thumb, therefore, is do not feel the need to win the argument immediately. Yeah, with the husband. But you just argue in a proper way using I, not you. Then afterwards, you can talk it over when the man has calmed down, when the ego has gone down. Then you can say, oh, by the way, even with, you remember what we are arguing about? I think I've got a better an opinion. Maybe I don't know whether you will like it. Like that. Then the man will come down and discuss. But don't you ever, when you are arguing, subdue the man and pull him down. The male ego will not take it rightly. Just for the sake of your marriage, for the sake of your relationship, don't pull down the man or the male ego. Number 5, don't compare your husband with other men. Ooh, this is great. This is huge. Do not compare your husband with other men. Wives, do you understand that? Don't you ever compare your husband with other men. The vast majority of men hate to be compared to other men by their wives. In fact, all men, and this is very crucial. Now, when you compare him with other men who have got superior talents, you will feel inadequate. And you know what? The male ego does not believe in the fear of feeling inadequate before a wife. It doesn't. It doesn't take that one. Let me repeat it again. Do not compare your husband with other men who have got superior talents than him. Why? He's going to feel inadequate. And the male ego does not believe in adequacy or feeling inadequate before a wife or a woman. According to the male ego, therefore, it's like you are wishing, you wish that you married him. Yeah? Meaning that you married the wrong man. When you compare your husband to another man, it means that you are telling the husband that he married the wrong woman or you married the wrong man. And no sane man would like to be compared unfavorably or negatively to another man. That, my dear ladies, will finish him. It is only that we don't cry before you. It's only that we don't show emotions before you. But that's huge. I have a slight statements you make of comparison of your husband to other men out there in any capacity. That's wrong.